Welcome back to Sgcarmart Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at a car that's inspired by the first generation Honda Civic. It may look like a Civic, but it is nothing like a Civic. In fact, it is Honda's first fully electric vehicle, the Honda e-Advance. Now let's take a look. If you're thinking about buying a car like this Honda e-Advance and trading in your car, try selling with Quotz instead. Did you know that you could be losing up to $5,000 worth in value if you trade in your car? Quotz uses its network of dealers to get you the best price possible. In fact, they're so confident of giving you the best price, if you sell your car for a high price, they'll give you $100. Now don't just take our word for it, look at the hundreds of raving reviews on their service. To find out more, visit quotz.com.sg, that's QUOTZ.com.sg. Now back to the review. Now starting off with the front of this e-Advance, you can tell it's a very small hatchback. It has this Honda emblem with a slight blue inner filling, kind of like your Toyota hybrids or Toyota electrics. And it comes in a few colors, but this definitely looks the best. This black on white, it kind of looks like a panda. And you get quite a lot of plastic, but I think it fits because, as you'll see later, this car is nothing but environmental and friendliness and very natural feeling. Your lights here, you get this full round kind of eye and it looks really good. Your LED signals as your fog lamps also comes through here. And other than that, it's a very inoffensive car. Now let's move on to the side. The Honda e-Electric is priced at $199,000. The single electric motor produces 152 brake horsepower and 315 Newton meters of torque. The single-speed transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 km per hour in 8.3 seconds. The 35.5 kWh battery capacity provides a drive range of 220 km. For more details on the Honda e-Electric or any other car, head on to sgcarmart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car. So over by the side, you get 16-inch wheels, but they aren't the best, they aren't the biggest, but they look really good because a hatchback of this size, it looks perfect. You don't get any wing mirrors, you get instead this live video feed camera and also your signal repeater on the side. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but we'll show you more about that later. And then you also get flush door handles that when normally the car is locked, it's flush, and frameless windows. So style points for Honda, good job. You don't really expect that of a Honda. Onto the rear, it is a 5-door, not a 3-door. So you also get frameless windows and flush door handles here, kind of like the Vezel, but this looks way better. Now let's check out the rear. Over by the rear of the Honda e-Advance, you get this little spoiler as well as your high mount brake light. You also get Honda e badging with this little crown, which I find to be really cute. You also get your tail lights, which are like an exact copy and paste from the front, just save for these little two slots that are your reverse lights as well as your fog lights. You also get this rear camera that helps make up the 360 camera view and your Honda badging with the blue inlay. Open up the boot, you're gonna get 171 liters worth of boot space. It's not a lot. I'm not even going to try the anti-trolley length test, but at least you can see it fits the trolley, it fits the luggage. It's something good. It's a small little city hatchback, again based on the Gen 1 Civic, and it's an electric vehicle, so batteries underneath, so this is the space that you're going to get. You also get to knock down the rear seats from here easily, but other than that, it's some space. Now let's check out the rear. Over by the rear, you can see it's not a lot of space, but I will tell you that the space is designed really well. You can see 1.75 meters tall, there's a headrest, this is my head space, this is my leg space, and this is adjusted for my driving position. So it is gonna be a squeeze, but the space is designed really well. So normally I'd be someone who prefers a leather interior more, but this fabric sofa interior does feel really good, and it doesn't divide the seat, so it feels like, in fact, just one sofa bench. And you also get this little light switch, which, I don't know, it's here, but it's much nicer to have it here. It's kind of like disco. And then you also get a cubby space here for your cup holder. More spaces here, magazine holder. It's going to be a 4-seater, so we're not going to measure the inside space for the middle, but there is no transmission tunnel, even though it is a rear-wheel drive. In the center console, you don't really get rear aircon, but I can already feel the aircon coming from the front. You get 2 USB fast charging slots, so people behind can be seated comfortably with their electric devices charged. Now here's one thing that I really like. Check out the trim on these seat belts. It matches the wood trim that you find up front, and it just is So inviting, along with these fabric finish on this upholstery. Now let's check out the front. Now inside the front of this Honda E Advance, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screens. Now 2 of those are your mirror feed, so instead of your wing mirrors, you have your live video feed, and then you also get your instrument cluster, which is a very standard Honda design. It's simple and clear to use. It's kind of the same one that you'll find inside your Honda Fit or Honda Jazz of the current generation. And you also get 2 big infotainment system screens, and what I like about these screens is that the material they use is very anti-glare and it's very easy to see, and your eyes don't get tired of it. And for some reason, if you want some fun, you can actually open up the menu and go into this aquarium mode. In case you want to feed some fishes, you can even control the settings on the number of fishes. Good for you, Honda. And then moving down to the center, you get your volume control for your entertainment system that feels and looks really good. The finish on this is impeccable, along with this wood paneling that also goes on to the stitching on the side and your seatbelt color. Down by the center aircon control, you get the same really nice material treatment. Even though it's plastic, it's a different kind of plastic. It doesn't feel that cheap. Now, one thing about electric vehicles that I really like is that you can treat it like a mobile office. You can keep the aircon running while you're waiting. It's not idling your petrol engine and it's not burning anything. But this is something that I haven't seen in another electric vehicle. You can use it as a mobile office in case you're out doing some work and you're running out of juice on your MacBook. You can actually plug it into the 3-pin plug, turn on the power for the 3-pin plug, and there you go. Your MacBook is charging. Now down by the center console, you also get a pull-out cup holder that matches the rest of the cabin space. You get your gear selector that is done really well, something that you won't, like a knob, you won't be confusing whether it's a reverse or drive or neutral. Very easy, very simple to use. Down by the center, you also get a few cup holder placements for your things like your keys, and I like that it's customizable with this little insert, so you can choose if you want a wider cup holder or just a few narrow slots. Now let's go see how this drives. Now, how does the Honda E Advance feel on the road? Let's find out. It has some 152 brake horsepower and 350 Newton meters of torque. But of course, it's an electric vehicle, single motor, rear-wheel drive, so you have that instant power, a lot of fun. And what's really lovely is inside this little hatchback package, you feel so good on the road. This direct steering, the instant power, it's such a good combination. You just love to have a little bit of fun with this. And because, personally, for me, because it's not a petrol driven, so it really doesn't feel like you're wasting that much inefficiency in having a little bit more fun with a car like this on the road. Say if you're driving an RS3 and you're just flooring it, stop and go, you're gonna know that you're gonna burn a lot of petrol. But this, not so much, because it's electric. Granted, you're still going to say you're not gonna be as efficient as if you do a nicer, stabler drive. This is something that you want. So comfort inside this is really, really comfortable. Like, I'm hearing very little noise outside because you, in fact, don't even have wing mirrors. So what I have is live video feed from my left and right. These are little nubs that you can see earlier on the exterior part of the car. Same with the Audis. Very crisp, very clear. In fact, my rear view mirror, I can even have a choice of physical mirror or a digital mirror, just like the Toyota Harrier. And it is very, very comfortable. Currently there are 2 drive modes, Sport and Normal. And inside this normal drive mode, it is very, very comfortable. You roll a little bit, but just enough to feel the road. I tell you, you're not gonna have any complaints if whether you're ferrying your family around, maybe for the space, but not so much for the comfort. It is such a joy to drive and ride inside this Honda E Advance. Immediately once you enter, you are greeted by this really bright, very, very comfortable. You know how cars usually inside you get in, it's pretty dark and it's black because it's easy to clean. The leather looks better. But this one, you have all these wood panels, this digital displays, and all this fabric everywhere. In fact, the seat belts, they actually are the same color or rather color theme as the wood. And it feels really good. It feels really inviting. It feels like you're stepping into a Scandinavian forest, like very cool, very chill, and just stepping in and enjoying the nature. And that's kind of what this Honda E is about, right? It's bringing you back to green, environmental, and it feels really good, really exciting. It's a car, some people might say that they don't really like that, but I think this is just perfect. So in terms of safety, Honda E does everything well, and it puts it in a very low practical package. So like say your video feeds right here, if I do flick, it will tell me that this car coming up, so you better watch out. So for now, like say I turn on, and I actually have lines inside the video feed telling me where I need to be to safely exit. For example, if you see the one here, you can see the red lines, the orange lines telling me how many car lengths away, which is something that you can't get on regular mirrors, and I think that's a very useful thing. So currently I am on lane keeping assist. It's helping me keep within the lanes. You can see that it shows up on the screen. If it manages to detect the two white lines, it will keep inside there. There we go. So you can see it is reading and it will follow the curve of the road. And one thing that I think is pretty cool, that if I do tap on the brakes, you can actually see it on the menu in front, and it's kind of cute. Another very useful safety feature that you'll find inside the Honda E Advance is this one pedal drive button. I like that it's not hidden within so many deep touchscreen menus. It's right here, one push of a button. There we go. Instantly you'll be able to tell that one pedal drive is on, and it's very easy to control the car simply from just this button. It shows on the instrument cluster. Very easy to control, very useful, and I think it's something that more cars should adopt, right? Don't you think? Everything that I need, whether it's my smart cruise control, lane keeping assist, it's all here, very, very accessible. And this is good job, Honda. Keep it up and bring it over to all your cars. So is this car a will buy, won't buy, or go try? Well, I think that this car is a will buy because it's everything that you want inside this little package. It's made for city driving. It's very convenient to drive. It's very easy to drive, and you get all this tech, and it's so welcoming, this cabin. It looks amazing. But unfortunately, it would then go down to a go try because, well, chiefly, elephant in the room, its range is 220 kilometers, which is not that much, especially as far as nowadays the most electric vehicles go. But if you're staying in, say, a landed house, or you have access to a charger at work, then it's not going to be a problem, especially in Singapore, because driving east to west, vice versa, you're going to use at most, 50 kilometers. So even if, say, you stay at Jurong and then you work at Pasir Ris, maybe you use up 100 kilometers a day, and then you're still going to have some to spare. So if you do have a charger at home or at work, then that kind of makes up for it. But the other problem is that its price. It is kind of on the pricier side. Not so much that it's really expensive, but in the sense that at this price range, topping up slightly, you're going to get something with a lot more usability, something with a lot more range, and maybe a car like a Polestar where the interior is just as beautiful. So that's why this car actually, it's pushed down to a go try. But it is a car that you should definitely try out. So this has been our review of the Honda E Advance, and I am telling you, I'm having so much fun with this car. But what do you think about our review? Do you agree with it or do you disagree? Let us know down in the comments. As well as any other car that you'd like to see us try, do leave it in the comments, because we read every single one of these comments. And if you've made it this far, please consider subscribing to our channel, because we see that 80% of you viewers unsubscribe. Hitting that subscribe button will help us send our videos to you a lot more efficiently. And also, don't forget to follow us on TikTok at Sgcarmart. Now, this has been our review. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Lastly, we'd like to give thanks to Cars and Coffee for loaning us this very rare unit of Honda E. So if you're checking out a Honda E or any other specialty cars, check out Cars and Coffee. You also get very flush door handles, and they are locked, so I can't open it. That's the key.
Feels like that.
Silent. It's nothing. No noise. It's so different, and It's so refreshing.